is so important. This is the No Pill Man, and today we'll be exploring why play helps dogs. Um, so, according to Ivan Balabanov, play is not something that is socially constructed, but is something that is inherent in the DNA of organisms. The first helpful aspect of play is exercise. Certain dogs, particularly dogs with high drives, need something more substantial to get their needs met. Okay. Dogs with behavioral problems. When dogs with behavioral problems are given an outlet for their intense big feelings, oftentimes you will find that the intensity of the bad behavior decreases, making it easier to address. Another aspect that play is helpful towards dogs with behavioral problems is it builds cooperation and rapport and sensitizes the dog to you. As you build a relationship with the dog becomes more sensitive to your handler, sensitive to your feelings, and this can make the application of consequences such as negative and positive punishment, or some combination there too, and negative and or positive punishment, more effective. Going back to the genetic needs, some dogs, high drive dogs, have a need to stalk, chase, bite, and kill. I'm butchering the actual technical terms for it, but if you have a dog that's chasing squirrels and is crazy about squirrels, a good way to kind of make the dog feel like that behavior is not necessary is to let them chase around a ball and just run around like a psycho. Another aspect that play is helpful towards behavioral problems is in the area of boundary setting. You can use play to set boundaries with the dog and teach them no, and you can use it to charge up the no marker. So let's say my dog won't out. I say no and I pop the leash. I've now charged the no marker. So when we're walking outside and my dog blows up on another dog, I can say no and pop the leash. Another thing is you're teaching the dog to self-impulse control in the framework of high arousal situations by teaching a dog to out, by teaching a dog not to go after the toy until you explicitly give them the go-ahead. What you are doing is you're teaching the dog self-control in high arousing situations, like when they're around other dogs, people, bikes, other animals, etc. I will go back now to how play helps with rapport building and handler sensitivity. So imagine you're a teenager or a kid that's an absolute fucking asshole, to put it bluntly. You spend a couple of weeks with a guy, he does nothing but have good times with you, and you play, and you do cool shit together. And then one day, as you're exhibiting a bad behavior, he says to you, "Hey, you're being a douchebag. Why are you being such a douchebag? Knock it off." The impact of the impact of that aversive consequence, him giving you shit, is much more profound because he took the time to build rapport and build a relationship with you. Now imagine if right off the bat when So this way, so this way with the building of rapport and the handler sensitization, um, you're able to get away with being much more conservative about how much pressure you use, how much the degree of compulsion and force you use when you attempt to use punishment. Another important aspect of play is its role of counter-conditioning and desensitization. A dog that plays around things that they use to explode, that they use to explode at is a very common icing on the cake, so to speak, for many dog training systems. Once the dog is finished acting like an asshole around things that they used to explode at, we now have them play tug of war or fetch or some combination thereto around said things that they used to explode at, causing the dog to become counter-conditioned and desensitized. There are also trainers, such as Jay-Jack, who is a very profound, very important dog training figure, who advocate for taking a dog to a place taking a dog under threshold, the things they used to explode at, and playing tug with them in a proximity where the dog notices the other stimulus but is not overly stressed about it. So the dog sees the thing that they're stressed out about it, but it's not close enough to stress out about it. And then actively play in front of said things. And then over time, you gradually decrease distance to the trigger. And this is counter-conditioning, desensitization. And yes, so overall play in dog training is something that's taken off lately. Before, no one really gave a shit about it, but now everyone's doing it. Well, not everyone. Unfortunately, there are still some sticks in the mud who think that playing with your dog will make them aggressive, which is just a lie, just not true. But now everyone is playing with their dogs. Don't know what's going on there. So now that play is taking off, there are two separate views. There are some who advocate for first removing the undesirable behavior, then developing the play relationship. There are some who advocate for developing the play relationship and also working to remove the undesirable behaviors at the same time. And there are some who advocate for developing the play relationship and at the same time, developing the play relationship, and then after the relationship is strong, working to remove the undesired behaviors. And I personally was forced to take the middle approach. I would have preferred to have developed the play relationship before working on the undesirable behaviors. But because my dog was so out of control and I didn't have a vehicle to take them at a place where there would be no other dogs, I was forced to focus on removing the undesired behaviors. And build the play relationship at the same time. So my dog would run to the end of a 50-foot long line trying to get to other dogs and go be an asshole. So I had no choice but to use the electric to stop her from doing that so I could actually, play with her. So, so basically what I ended up doing, was doing both at the same time, doing both play and removing the undesired behavior at the same time. Overall, I've made progress. I'm not satisfied with the progress because she's still an asshole.